the long-standing mystery surrounding Ricky Nelson's tragic death has finally been solved. And the truth is deeply unsettling. Born as Eric Hilliard Nelson on May 8, 1940 in Teaneck, New Jersey, Ricky was the son of Ozzie and Harriet Nelson, two prominent entertainers of their time. Practically born into show business, Ricky was immersed in the entertainment world from a very young age. He appeared alongside his family in the popular radio and television series The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, a show that chronicled their everyday lives. It became a staple in American homes throughout the 1950s and early 1960s. As Ricky grew up in front of millions, his charisma, good looks, and natural talent made him an instant favorite among viewers. But unlike many child actors, Ricky Nelson managed to move beyond the limitations of being a family sitcom star, launched a remarkably successful music career at a time when rock and roll was still met with suspicion by older generations. In 1957, he recorded his debut single, I'm Walking, a cover of Fats Domino's hit, which quickly climbed the charts. This marked the beginning of his parallel career as a rock and roll singer and solidified his status as a teen idol. Throughout the late 1950s and into the 1960s, Nelson continued to release hit after hit, including iconic songs like Hello Mary Lou, Travelin' Man, Poor Little Fool, Lonesome Town, and It's Late. His clean-cut image and melodic voice helped bring rock music into the mainstream and won him a loyal fan base. He was among the first teen stars to regularly appear on national television, paving the way for future musical phenomena such as the Beatles. By the age of 21, he had sold millions of records and become one of the top-selling male solo artists of the era. However, Eek's career was not without its struggles. As musical tastes evolved in the mid-1960s, Nelson found it difficult to stay at the top of the charts. Rather than follow fleeting trends, he chose to grow artistically and embraced a more mature sound, pioneering the country rock genre with the formation of the Stone Canyon Band. This artistic shift culminated in his 1972 hit Garden Party. Inspired by a disappointing Madison Square Garden concert where fans only wanted to hear his old hits, the song, which became a major comeback success, conveyed a powerful message about staying true to oneself. You can't please everyone, so you've got to please yourself. In addition to his musical achievements, Ricky Nelson also had a significant acting career. He appeared in the 1952 family comedy film Here Come the Nelsons. And in 1953, he played a young version of Farley Granger's character in the MGM production The Story of Three Loves. His breakout film role came in 1959 when director Howard Hawks cast him as a gunslinger in the classic western Rio Bravo alongside John Wayne and Dean Martin. Nelson's performance added fresh energy to the film, and Hawks credited him as a major factor in its box office success. Ricky continued acting, co-starring with Jack Lemmon in the 1960 war comedy The Wackiest Ship in the Army, and making guest appearances on various television series, including General Electric Theater and the Hardy Boys' Nancy Drew Mysteries, where he showcased both his acting and singing talents. He also starred in the 1965 romantic comedy Love and Kisses. Written and directed by his father, Ozzie Nelson, throughout the late 1960s and 70s, he took roles in series such as Hondo, The Over the Hill Gang, The Streets of San Francisco, and The Love Boat. His final notable TV roles included appearances in movies like 3 on a Date and the 1983 teen comedy High School USA. During his teen years, Nelson was a heartthrob who captured the attention of millions. While he dated many young women, his mother Harriet Nelson maintained a strong influence over his romantic life. As both his mother and co-star, Harriet was protective and believed that Ricky should focus on his career rather than fleeting romances. Her standards for potential partners were high, often leading to disapproval of the women Ricky brought home. Nevertheless, Ricky eventually married Chris Harmon in April 1963. Chris, the daughter of football legend Tom Harmon and actress Elise Knox, seemed to have Harriet's approval. Their marriage united to iconic Hollywood families and was seen as a fairy tale union. Ricky and Chris had 4 children, Tracy, who became an actress. At twin sons Gunnar and Matthew, who found musical success with their band Nelson, their youngest Sam, who pursued a quieter path in the arts. Despite the image of a perfect family, their marriage began to deteriorate in the late 1970s. Chris struggled with family responsibilities, while Ricky focused on revitalizing his career, adding to emotional distance and reported infidelity. Their relationship eventually ended in a painful legal battle. Culminating in a divorce finalized in December 1982, both remained committed to their children. Though the breakup left Ricky deeply affected, and this emotional pain was reflected in his later music, for years Ricky Nelson's death remained clouded in mystery. On December 31, 1985, Nelson, his fiancée, Helen Blair, and 5 band members died in a tragic plane crash near DeKalb, Texas, while en route to a New Year's Eve performance in Dallas. Initial reports blamed a mechanical issue, possibly a malfunctioning heater for the fire that consumed the cabin mid-flight. The 2 pilots survived, but everyone in the cabin perished. Speculation ran rampant in the aftermath. Some suggested drug use, citing alleged paraphernalia found at the scene, while others blamed poor maintenance or even sabotage. Toxicology reports, however, revealed no drugs or alcohol in Nelson's system, and no evidence supported the drug-related theories. Yet, the ambiguity surrounding the crash continued to fuel tabloid rumors and left Nelson's family and fans without closure. In recent years, breakthroughs by aviation historians, forensic experts, and investigative journalists finally brought clarity. It was revealed that the Douglas DC-3 aircraft, a World War II plane, had been in poor condition. The heater system had long been problematic, with prior complaints ignored. Makeshift and unsafe repairs had been made to the heater, which was located just beneath the cabin floor and dangerously close to flammable materials. When the heater failed mid-flight, it sparked a fire that quickly engulfed the cabin in smoke and toxic fumes. The plane lacked fire-retardant insulation and onboard fire extinguishers, leaving the passengers with no chance of survival. Forensic reports concluded that the passengers likely died from smoke inhalation before the plane crashed. The pilots escaped through the cockpit windows, but for Nelson and the others, it was already too late. Perhaps the most devastating revelation was that this tragedy could have been prevented. People responsible for the aircraft knew it was unsafe, yet allowed it to fly. The crash wasn't the result of random chance or personal recklessness, but of human negligence and systemic oversight. Ricky Nelson's life was cut short not by fate, by a failure to ensure basic safety. His legacy remains an icon of American pop culture, a pioneer of rock and country rock, and a gifted actor. But the truth behind his death adds a tragic dimension to his story. The mystery now resolved doesn't bring comfort. Instead, it underscores a harsh reality. Even legends are vulnerable when the systems meant to protect them fail. Ricky Nelson's legacy endures, but the painful truth of his avoidable death serves as a solemn reminder of the consequences of neglect.